that little wobble is not very pronounced. Oops, went a little thin, went a little fast. We got that little twist in there. I was feeling very confident on that throw. I'm going to try something here. I'm going to switch the direction of the wheel and try to smooth those twists out at the same time. The theory being that I may be able to slightly untwist the clay at the same time. It's just too thin right there. I don't want to give up on it just because the one thing that I can try to do is create some strength in the structure of the clay through compression. Pressing the stainless steel rib into the surface helps to compress the clay particles, get them all aligned. Holding each other optimally. And there's just no reason to fuss over any single piece. So I can see one thing I should have done with this cup was on the interior. Actually, I'll just show you. I'll do an analysis here. All right. So, you can see where the twist was. It was at the thinnest point in the wall. So I grabbed a little too hard. And then that twist went in and there wasn't enough clay here to support the structure while I thinned out the rest of this up here. So ideally you want your walls to be even thickness all the way up. And this was a failure of that. Additionally, when I started pulling the walls up, I should have formed it so this roundness right here was a sharper corner, because all this extra clay that I marked out right there doesn't have to be there, and that just makes the cup heavy. So this should have been about that thin. That corner right there could have been cut out, and then this should never have been this thin. No big deal. Don't forget to enter the monthly giveaway. The giveaway is for a pair of Emberstones, which you can accumulate and trade to me for real pottery. 2 ember stones is enough to get the first tier of pottery, a small cup or a small bowl. Sometimes I have a lot of trouble getting that last little bit of wobble out, and I think right now what's causing it is the clay is sticking to my hands and just getting pulled out of center over and over again by the friction. So we'll open. I don't usually pull it inward like that, but I have seen other potters who do it that way. I think it helps control the overall shape, because the tendency of clay, you can see, is to flare outward, especially at the top. This is taking so long. I feel like I lost confidence after that last cup. That's all narrow cup. I think one last pass. Get in there. I just want to get that bottom corner right there. I think part of what's going on too is I'm just letting the wheel spin at max speed. Usually I tone that down a little bit. 2 more cups and then we'll do another larger throw. And then probably call it for the day. Oop. Oh, big wobble. So I'm gonna brace my elbow into my hip here. I'm not flexing, I'm just using my skeletal structure to press back against the clay. And a lot of the wobble is preserved down in this bottom section. Hey, Stone Monkey, nice to see you. do 3 pulls, it's okay. I don't have to do these big aggressive grabs. Think that was necessarily, it didn't have to be catastrophic, but it was a little thin, and I proceeded with slightly dry hands. So between the thinness of the wall and the friction created by the lack of water, layer, lubrication, we ended up with a big old twist right there in the middle. So now I'm making another mistake because the thinness of the walls means that the surface area to clay mass ratio is really high. And it means that it absorbs that moisture really, really fast and becomes mushy immediately. So with a really thin walled throw, you have to use less water. But using less water means you're more likely to twist the thin walls. It's really a fine balance. To be a delicate cup. Some people like the feeling of incredibly light, thin-walled, delicate pottery, and some people want their piece to be chunky. Last cup. How to get it good and stuck on there. Centered, and now we're opening. Drive to the bottom, keeping in mind the desired thickness of the base. There, now I said base. Establish a flat bottom and a sharp corner transition to a wall. This is the results of the first pull. Nice even wall thicknesses. And now it's going to be about determining the final thickness and the final shape of the cup. There's pull number 2. Last one. This is going to be the thinnest the clay gets, so I want to make sure that there's a nice layer of water anywhere I'm going to be grabbing. Lovely. We'll call that one done. Almost. Gotta think about the lip. Where the mouth will make contact with the cup. It's important. Bubbles. Yeah, I need to make that a... Is your chicken farting out bubbles? Is that what the hee-hee is about? Yeah. Yeah. Hee-hee. Bowl, 2 bowls, matching bowls. Hey, bad gamer. What kind of clay is this? This is a mixture of a reclaimed gritty stoneware called LB Blend, and it's not cinnamon, it's I don't remember. It's a blend of like a reddish smooth clay and a brown gritty clay. That's a lot of clay. Bad gamer. Hi, that's a reasonable amount of clay. I did a big pile of clay for that vase up there earlier. And that was twice as much. It was like this much, that much clay for that vase. So this should be fairly straightforward. Should be in my wheelhouse. The first shape that I learned how to throw was a bowl. Yeah, it's a lot of clay. If all you've ever seen me do is throw cups, then you've seen me throw like 1-pounders, or these are 1/2-pounders over here. So if that's what you're used to seeing, then this is a lot of clay. but wheelhouse. So first we get it stuck on and then center. What is this, like 3 pounds of clay? And there's a little bit of struggle. I can feel some fatigue in my fingers. I find that when I start feeling that, I do have a little more of a hard time getting the clay centered and stable. This looks like it should work. All right. I don't throw very many bowls. I like bowls. They are pretty space intensive in the kiln. They have the height of like a big cup, and then all of that diameter. You can't have pieces touching in a glaze firing because the glaze is melted. It'll fuse pieces together. So if you're doing a kiln load of big bowls, they take up a lot of space. And a lot of potters will try to be efficient and find things that will kind of hide in between the bowls in that shape that you leave in between. Little shot glasses, stuff like that. This is going to be a sizable bowl. Sizable. Survey bits. Thank you for your survey bits. Thank you for the bubbles. What am I going to do here? I think I'm going to use my rubber rib and apply pressure from the outside. More! Thank you for more. But more importantly, thank you for being here. It's a pleasure. I'm worried that I went too deep here in the inside. I'm worried that I didn't leave enough thickness between the bottom of the bowl and the bottom of the inside. The bottom of the outside and the bottom of the inside. But we'll find that out later. It doesn't much matter, because I don't need a bowl. What I need is practice. So if it ends up that I recycle this bowl, which is not outside the realm of possibility, it's just not a big deal. Starting to feel like if I push it much more, it's definitely gonna flop. Right here, this overhang. You're emotionally attached to the bowl now? Oh dear. That's a skill that you learn as a potter pretty quickly, or you quit. Kind of emotional detachment. Let's slow it down. See the way the lip is wobbling like crazy right now? That is a warning sign. So now it's closed at the top, which is fun for like a yarn bowl or maybe a serving bowl. Looks like it'd keep a salad in there, you know. This is a little too tense. I'm gonna skip the music. If you don't like abrupt music changes, brace yourself. 3, 2, 1. I don't need that kind of pressure. I'm over here looking at a bowl that I'm pretty sure wants to flop. I don't know, we're doing okay. Apply a little compression with the rib on the outside. That'll help with the strength. And I don't often, I generally don't bother compressing from the inside. I'm working with it so much. contours of the inside in a way that I like. I like the lines of the interior of the bowl to flow. Imagine you're gonna become really small and skateboard on the inside of the bowl. You don't want any sudden changes to the curvature. That's what I have right here. Outside profile, I can change a little bit in trimming. Inside profile, I want to get right in this step. I'm not sure how well you can see. Right there at the tip of my tool. Oh wow, come on camera. It's not that hard. It's right here. It's okay. Here you can see it there. Right in there, it dips a little bit inward relative to the rest of the bowl. What's that? What's what? Do you hear something? Okay. The dip was just me pushing a little too hard in one of the earlier stages. And then you can't really, or I don't in my practice, I don't push clay back down when I take too much. So I move too much upward, and now I have to kind of adjust everything else around it to match. And I'm worried that this dip is too deep. And when I go to trim this bowl, I'm going to cut through the bottom because there's just not enough clay down there. We'll find out. But right now, rather than moving clay around in the vessel, I'm kind of just scraping clay away. To try to get that evenness. So I've removed just a little bit. That's looking pretty good now. This will be a nice pho bowl. Is it going to be a bowl? Yep. That is the goal. Bowl goal. So we started with that. Fox. Welcome in. It's nice to have you here. So that's looking pretty good now. I think I got the issue smoothed out. The interior is going to receive a pretty thick layer of white glaze, my go-to liner glaze. So all the little scratches and gouges and contours that you can see in there are going to get leveled out. I like to make sure that my dishes are as smooth on the inside as I can get them. I don't like when I'm eating and like my spoon bounces on little handmade swirlies in pottery. I don't like that. And I don't like little crevices in my food contacting surfaces that can trap food, make it difficult to get your dishes clean. Alright, that's enough. M&M's. This is a lot of M&M's bowl right here. And I'm not going to say that it's impossible to calculate how many M&M's would go in this bowl, but consider while you're doing your rough math that this bowl is going to shrink by about 12% from where it is right now to the finished product. So calculate that into your M&M's math. Hey, Dan. Hey, thank you. Yeah, it's a nice clean bowl. I'm thinking it's gonna look really good with some trimmed in details that I can do later. But for right now, let's just call that one done. And I'm thinking one more because I haven't done bowls in a while. And it's good to get that repetition in to solidify whatever lessons my hands might have been trying to learn there. And it just so happens I have another piece of clay that is approximately the same size as that last one, weighing in at, should be like 4 pounds. Oh, just shy of 3. I was way off. Is that right? That doesn't seem right. Just shy of 3 pounds. Not that big of a deal. Am I also doing YouTube? I haven't done very much YouTube yet, but my intention is to eventually get content up on all the various sharing sites. I don't know where I'm gonna get the energy, get the time and energy, like the real life stuff that I've got going on right now outside of streaming and pottery is very demanding. I think I want to beat this one down a little bit. That'll help. When it's tall like that, it's kind of difficult to get set up on the wheel. But now, with all that slapping, I know it's nice and attached. I don't have to move the clay a ton to get it set. For anybody who's new to the process, step 1 is to get the clay stuck to the bat. Step 2, we're going for a centered, symmetrical piece of clay. Like if I were going for content creation as a full-time gig, I would definitely have stuff up on YouTube. But as it is, I feel like I'm just barely showing up to my Twitch streams sometimes. I only do that because all I have to do is show up and sit down, play with clay for a little while, and chat with people. And video editing, that sounds like homework. So I'm just gonna go with the get famous on Twitch and then hire somebody to edit my videos for me strategy. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. That's the strat. You can see there's still a little bit of wobble in this piece. I'm kind of past the point of wanting this like dead centered and perfect, because I think that I can correct it in this next couple of stages. This is called opening, driving hole down to, I went too deep last time, so we're gonna stop a little earlier. But this is setting the bottom of the bowl. With that, I was able to move a lot of the clay into a more centered configuration. And because the walls are so thick right now, it's really resilient to that kind of movement. You're changing where the clay is distributed relative to the center. Ooh. Well, hopefully our calming vibes here will help you find some relief. I'm sorry to hear that you're in pain. Glad to hear that you received medical attention. That's nice. This clay is a grabby, tacky kind of clay, so I like to make sure that it's nice and wetted down. And slow the wheel down. Really pay attention to a nice, smooth curvature on the inside of the bowl. That went pretty well. I'm not going to put any pressure on myself to make this bowl match that bowl. I'm just going to make this bowl. Let's see where that goes. You can see the very V shape of the bowl in these beginning processes, and that's kind of the same way this was shaped before, but we managed to get it all rounded out. Bowl's probably going to end up being a little bit smaller because I'm leaving more clay in that base area. I was mentioning felt too thin on the previous one. I think this will be my last check for wall thickness. You can see, maybe you can't, it might be off camera, one of my tricks for throwing is to touch the outside hand with the inside hand, or vice versa. And this kind of helps my nervous system be able to map exactly where the finger points are relative to each other, even though they're separated by clay. When you can't do that, it's a whole other feeling. It's hard to get that precision on a big throw where you're like elbow deep in a vase. Yeah, I'm kind of, if it weren't so dang hot, I'd probably go get pho for dinner. was productive. So I made that bowl that you just saw. Should I put that side by side with the other one so we can compare, even though I said I wasn't trying to make a match? I don't think it's a completely worthless exercise. Let's see. Sorry about that. Pretty good, much more pronounced foot when I deliberately left a bunch of clay there. A substantially bigger bowl on this one because of the lack of that clay, or the way that clay was used, rather. Sake flask, sizable. Just a nice big vase. That'll be pretty. I think that's getting fired. All right. Well, let's wrap it up. Whew. 94 degrees in here, 66% humidity, and lots of CO2. Our VOCs and dust are nice and low, though. Yeah, I'm uncomfortable. Like, any one of these alone, and I could handle it. The CO2 is probably the one that would get to me the fastest, but all three of them together, I'm in here, like, it feels like it's 90 degrees in here. I feel short of breath. Let's get on out of here. Let's wrap it up. And those stats are based off of that machine right there. You can see it reflects the readout, the aware score of 63. That's a D. That's not a good score. Why is CO2 so high? Because this room is tiny. There's that corner. There's that corner. There's that corner. It's like, I know people with closets bigger than this room. And ventilation makes noise in here. I have my vent fan. Can't stream with that on. So I hit that every once in a while, just occasionally throughout the stream to get some circulation going. And then I can run the air conditioner to bring down the temperature. My brain stopped not working right. But the air conditioner doesn't do very much for CO2 after a prolonged period in here. It helps blow the air around and find little pockets of good air. But yeah, it's uncomfortable in this room right now. So that's why I'm wrapping it up and pressing this button. It's been lovely spending my afternoon with you. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'll be back again Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. We'll be trimming those cups, bowls, and the bottles, or the vase and bottle that were made today on Tuesday. Squish Beans, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Pride. Dan, we'll see you. It's good to see you. I feel like I didn't chat with you. I always like to catch up. Otter, Eat Dirt, Raj, Split the Lark, 9.5 Linux Witch, Bad Gamer, Stargentian, Russ. Thank you all so much for being here. If you're hanging out and you haven't already used command goodnight to claim your glittering nugget, claim your glittering nugget. I'll tell you how to use it later. Laundry, Ellen, laundry. Alright, well, I'm also supposed to be finding somebody to raid while I'm doing this. I feel like it just turned into like a radio show. I hit the goodnight button and the camera's off and I just sit here and talk. We're going over to Babe Ross, who's a very talented artist who looks like she just started painting. Where did my... This is not my first time headed over there. I think you'll like it. She's in the squinting phase of painting. I thought that she just needed glasses, but she actually squints to help her see the color values while she's setting up the beginning of the painting. DJ Rock and Raj doesn't need a bust of himself. I'm not sure I believe you. Oh, I can smell my wife cooking dinner. It's time to get out of here. Thanks everybody. Love you. See you Tuesday. Let's jump. Let's go say hi.